Our next speaker will be Mr. Elisha Chiware, Director of the Cape Peninsula University of Technology Libraries and Secretary of IATUL.
Okay. Good morning again, everybody. I think I can start off by saying that it is always very difficult to speak after the elders have spoken, because I think all the good things have been said. So with that in mind, I don't think I'm going to take very much of your time. I'll try to really run through. It's amazing how we are all doing almost the same things in our libraries throughout the whole world. And I'm going to give you a perspective from South African libraries, but also I'll try to speak a little bit about my own library, which is the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, which is based in Cape Town in South Africa. Maybe just to start off with, the types of universities that we have in South Africa could be classified as research universities, traditional universities, comprehensive universities, and universities of technologies. And in terms of the classification of our academic libraries, I would say that we are probably a mix between what is in developed countries and what is in a developing country. In terms of my presentation, the approach is I'm going to speak about aligning library strategies to institutional goals, library innovation strategies approaches, statistics for improved management, special staff skills training programs, information literacy programs, research support systems, research performance management, strategies, benchmarking, and the work that we do at the national level. In terms of aligning our strategies to the institutional goals, again, this has been said before, like any other library, I think we have to respond to the institutional goals. We have to respond to teaching, learning, research, student experiences, and community engagement. And how do we do that? We draw up our annual strategic plans or 5-year strategic plans, and from there we draw up what we call library annual work plans. And these annual work plans are closely linked to our performance management contracts, which then are enforced to ensure that staff are really working in line with what we have aligned ourselves to do. The other instruments that we use to ensure this are what we call our quality improvement plans, which are drawn from self-evaluation reports and also from institutional audits that are conducted by the Ministry of Higher Education. In terms of the approaches, how are we bringing about change and effecting innovation in academic libraries? What is the role of the library management, staff input into new ideas and how they should be implemented, and also the linking of our annual work plans and performance management contracts. I can also talk about the question of innovation librarians. This is a new concept which is creeping into South African libraries, not well established, but a lot of libraries are beginning to think about those positions. It's an idea that I borrowed from my colleague from TMU in Germany, and we have been experimenting with it, and we are finding that that position is beginning to bring a lot of substance to some of the management issues that we are discussing. The other approaches really in terms of bringing innovation to our libraries have been to work with international donors, and we have found out that they have brought a lot of capacity in terms of resources for us to make changes within our libraries. So some of those donors which are listed in my presentation have really helped us to bring about innovative changes in our libraries. We do have a national committee, which is called the Council of Higher Education Libraries in South Africa, and it helps us to produce a lot of guidelines, especially on quality. We have also been working very hard to come up with a national database for sharing statistics, and also trying to use those statistics to mobilize resources within our own institutions, and also to use those statistics in improving services within our libraries. The other issue really, in terms of innovation, is really our capacity to continuously build staff capacity to support innovation and change. One of the issues that we are grappling with in South Africa is the question of transformation and diversity. I'm sure you all know the background of South Africa, where we are coming from a very much divided society. But what we are trying to do now is to try and make sure that there is synergy between the different racial groups in the country. And you find that in most libraries, there are what we call transformation and diversity forums, so that we can begin to build steps towards cohesion among library staff. We also have very strong continuing education programs, and obviously these focus on very many areas, but some of the special areas that I would like to talk about or just mention are statistics literacy, in terms of building staff capacity to understand literacy and the use of statistics, and also the question of presentation skills. We believe that when we are engaging with undergraduates, we must really have strong presentation skills, otherwise our information literacy programs then falters. And then the question of customer focus, how do we handle customers who come into our libraries? And also the question of measuring the continuing education programs. What kind of impact are all those training programs making on the type of work that our staff are doing? The other areas, obviously, that have been mentioned is the question of information literacy. In South Africa, again, it's not just a question of teaching the skills, but also trying to address the past imbalances. We find that the crop of students coming to our universities are really coming from very divergent groups of schools. Some are coming from very rich schools, some are coming from very poor schools, and when they come to university, how do you ensure that those group of students are at the same level? Otherwise, you are really dealing with a very mixed group in terms of responding to higher education. Again, what we've been doing is to try and come up with national standards so that we can standardize the approach to information literacy. In terms of e-learning, we have been working collaboratively with our learner management systems to ensure library presence in those systems. Although still very much in the early stages, I think we're making the right noises so that we ensure that library resources are embedded within those programs. In terms of curriculum support, especially in my own university, we are making a lot of noise that we want to be present in all those forums where curriculum changes or discussions are taking place, so that we fully understand, what is happening within the university, so that we can respond appropriately to the needs of our undergraduate students. The other area is the question of research support systems. I'm sure we all know about the Learning Commons, and in some of our universities, we've been saying, let's move away, or let's build on the Library Commons or the Learning Commons, and try to have these new so-called research commons. Again, this has been in response to postgraduate student needs who would like to have specialized spaces for their own work. But once we've established those research commons, what additional services have we added to those spaces? In South Africa, we have added additional support like statistical analysis, writing support, and also to provide assistance in how postgraduate students can publish some of their work. The question of digital repositories, my colleague from Australia has also spoken about this. Again, it's the whole question of encouraging open scholarship. I'm sure we heard yesterday from the president, you either digitize or you perish. Again, I think it's a concept that we are really encouraging within our universities. In South Africa, again, it's a question of really bridging the knowledge divide between the rich and the poor. And we think through digitization, we are really making a big step forward in really making educational resources widely available. And then the question of special skills for research support librarians. Again, what are research librarians? We've been grappling with those support. What kind of training do we give them so that they can respond appropriately to the needs of our researchers? The other area has been the question of research performance management. I think as libraries, we are increasingly being called upon to provide this essential support to research directorates in terms of really using the tools like Scopus to analyze how our universities' research or researchers are either collaborating with other universities or how strong their niche areas are, and also to identify key competitors in terms of their research output, and also to identify potential areas of collaboration and how and where to allocate resources to optimize research within the universities. The other area that I want to talk about briefly is the question of e-strategies. A lot of our libraries are working on their e-strategies or e-strategy policies. We've been developing e-policies so that we can respond to the National Research and Development Strategy, which has called for a renewal in the information services sector so that we can have the capacity to drive services based on e-environments. And also the question of working with new technologies and finding right technologies to suit a developing country environment. We all know that mobile technologies have really spread so much in developing countries. And we are also saying, as libraries, how can we jump onto the bandwagon of mobile technologies so that we can deliver some of our libraries or library services through those technologies. The question of benchmarking and evaluation, again, we do a lot of benchmarking and evaluation within our own libraries. Some of our libraries have got what they call research agendas, or maybe you could call them an evaluation agenda. And also the question of benchmarking through staff visits, many other comparisons within the either the National Library Association, International Library Association, and also within our own association, IATL. Again, I think that's just a repetition of what I was saying. The national consortium at regional level, we have got the South African National Libraries Consortium, which again assists us in negotiating for electronic licenses and so on. And then in conclusion, I think really it is important that we constantly change in line with the higher education landscape, and that we constantly train our staff and encourage them to scan the LIS environment for new ideas, and that we constantly communicate with our university communities for our ideas and their impact on library services, and that we remain alert to the socio-economic and political environments that we operate in, and also that we provide seed beds or incubators for innovative projects and services. I hope I got my spellings correct. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. And then lastly, I would like to extend an invitation to you. The 34th IATRO conference is going to be held in Cape Town in South Africa next year, from the 14th to the 18th of April 2013. And the theme of the conference is Doing It Together, Effective Collaboration in Scientific and Technological University Libraries. You can visit the website for more details, and we hope to see you all in Cape Town next year. Thank you.
Our next speaker is going to be Mr. Nguyen Hue Chung, the president of the Northern Academic Library Association and director of the Library and Information Center of Vietnam National University, Hanoi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me talk something about the innovation of procedure on collecting, managing, and disseminating digital resources at the Library and Information Center, Vietnam National University, Hanoi. First of all, I would like to talk something about the Vietnam National University, Hanoi. Now in Vietnam, VNU is the biggest university with a lot of professors, lecturers, and students, undergraduate and postgraduates. Its training scale is widening and improving. The average number of enrollment per year is 5,000 undergrad students, 3,000 master students, and 250 PhD candidates. For orientation, changing to the research university, VNU leader decided to limit the undergraduate student, only 5,000 every year, and push quickly the postgraduate student. Now, next is the unit responsible for providing library and information services to own college, institution, research center, and other in VNU. Now VNU has 6 colleges and about over 40 institutions, research center, and service center. In addition to acquiring, processing, and serving material, LIX also has mission of collecting and preserving VNU institutional repository, including thesis, dissertation report, and essay. LIC has big information resources for print material. We have over nearly 150 titles of book, serial, thesis, dissertation, scientific report, which total of over 1.5 million copy. LIX makes a lot of bibliographic databases. Every 5 years, LIX making the database for research, for scientific work, owns book, thesis, article from lecturer, staff of VNU. We collect and making the database. We making the bibliographic and abstract database of course material for own college and other training organization in VNU. We have 5 offline databases, but from 5 years ago, we stopped this offline databases on CD-ROM because now more and more publishers issues online databases. We have 9 databases with some very precious database from the ScienceDirect, Springer, eBook, Issuno, ProQuest Central, and some other. On links information resources are centered, stored, and served at link. And in addition to link resource at VNU, there is still a large number of institutional repositories stored in different member college and faculty. Most of them remain undigitized. Up to the year 2010, VNU Transk is nearly 40 students. The number may reach over 50 in 2020. So now VNU President Board decided to limit the undergraduate student and improve the postgraduate student for balance equal undergraduate and postgraduate. VNU Institute repository will grow rapidly, leading to issue of storing space management and effective exploitation of resource. Due to its special characteristic, this kind of material is mainly served in-house. The number of copies is few, while the need for searching it is increasing. So this faced with the challenge of how to collect and digitize this material, build them as VNU common resource, minutes back to VNU member units. For innovation content, first we would like to innovation of information technology. In last 2 years, LIC upgrades library software, replace Libon 5.5. Libon 5.5 software is local software. It support about 7 models with Mark 21, DDC classification, circulation, serial, and some other, but but not good for many digital material. So we just buy the new software. Is VTOS virtual. I know that some library in Thailand and other ASEAN using the VTOS virtual. The software is computed to the international standard and as a new management technology, we just successful transfer nearly 1 million record from Ribbon 5.5 to virtual. Last year, VNU implemented open software display in 8 member units. Now VNU has 6 CALIS and over 40 institutional and institution and center. So we implemented 4 own main units of VNU, like VNU headquarters, College of Science, College of Social Science and Humanity, College of Education, etc. To collect, manage, and disseminate VNU repository in the form of unit digital database. Now we have collected and managed more than 40,000 scientific documents of VNU staff and faculty. Information technology infrastructure has been updated with 6 servers. The specified storage area network with store capability reaching to 12 gigabytes. The backup and data recovery system. The facilitates the control of information accessing inside and outside VNU. For innovation of procedure for collecting, managing, and disseminating digital resources. From last year, we are carrying out the big project building and developing ebook at VNU in 2 procedures. We using central display at LIC to manage institutional repository, graduation paper, lecture note, etc. Reader as a provider and developer of the resources through providing graduation paper, thesis, dissertation, article, essay to the system. And they also the exploiter of them. Librarian has the role of managing, controlling the information resources and support user in the process of accessing information from the system. We are using 2 Content Pro software with technology product of Innovative Interface Corporation to collect, manage, and disseminate digital material, charging some fee for outside VNU user only, for using the resource to develop and serve the repository resource continuously. Carrying out the Content Pro is the initial of a model for creating, sharing, and exploiting digital material in Vietnam in the way of creating foundation for sharing and exploiting copyright digital book. Involves a system, VNU member units, training and researching outside VNU, cooperation of people, and providing various formats for user to exploit digital book and anytime, anywhere from various facility, desktop, PC, tablet, smartphone. This connection system model for collecting, managing, and disseminating ebook. Now in VNU, we have VNU network connect on headquarters of VNU to colleges, institutions, and research center, service center. With high speed, so on is very easy to access to sharing information each other. This application system model from a lot of PC, notebook, and other, the user can access to the display software located in LIC for making the digital collection. The LIC collects them, processing them, and delivering them to the own VNU user. LIC manager and serve several tens of thousands of repository material and also several hundred of thousands of book and journal from and publisher in the work at the same time. LIC is trying to carry out as a supporting system to provide access to the whole resources inside and outside VNU as Primo solution by X libraries or anchored by innovative interface. To avoid catalog duplication, LIC are studying to integrate the information system in order to reuse bibliographic information effectively. Integrated library system and digital resource management software with integrated with VNU student staff management software. And records are uniform in display virtual Content Pro automatically. Corporates with different domestic and international solution provider in order to provide access to digital resources in various terminals like TV, computer, tablet, and smartphone. Innovation of library and information activity in general of collecting, managing, and disseminating digital resources is in particular is long and complicated process. It needs overall plan which involve various fields such as policy, organization, management, technology, women, resource, etc. Among the management and technology play the most important role. Vietnam Library and Information System is on the initial step in innovation and need with lot of difficulty and challenge. Attending this also is a good opportunity for me to study, to gain experience from leading specialists in the field so as to contribute my effort to put Vietnamese library system to more quickly and to integrate into the Asian Library Society. Let me thank organizer and sincere thanks to Thammasat University Library for providing me the opportunity to attend this workshop. Can get a lot of precious knowledge and experience. Thank you for attention.
I think in terms of innovation and management in libraries, we are seeing quite a lot of new ideas emerging, and we are also seeing quite a lot of them being implemented. But again, the issue of innovative ideas always requires resources on two levels. That is the actual money to implement those resources, and also a complement of staff members who are able to carry those innovative ideas forward. Without the two, then those innovative ideas can not really function or cannot be implemented in libraries. But in general, we are beginning to see that the new information technologies have put so much pressure on the traditional library setup that the library, for it to survive, it really has to be innovative. Otherwise, we are facing challenging times, and we must really be up to scratch in terms of how we respond to the challenges of technology, or otherwise our customers will always see us as irrelevant structures, either within universities or within the public in general. I think really in terms of a global perspective, we all tend to be dealing with the same issues. Libraries in Thailand, libraries in South Africa, libraries in Australia, libraries in New Zealand, libraries in Germany, or whatever. The issues tend to be the same. It's just a question of the approach. But otherwise, in terms of academic libraries, the challenges that we face are broadly the same, and the responses tend also to be the same. You cannot really say the Thai environment is completely different from what is happening in Germany, for example, or in the United Kingdom. I think on a general level, issues tend to cut across the globe, and the responses are also whatever. That's why, as librarians, I think we often come together, we share ideas, and from sharing those ideas, we tend to see that what we're implementing in our libraries is not just a local ideas, but it's ideas that we are picking from colleagues from all over the world.
As you know, now we are living in a flash world. Everyone wants to and has the right of acquiring information from every corner in the world. In charge of information, society, and knowledge economy, information is very important. It's most important. It is requires that people can access information very quickly and easily. The library is a place of storing and delivering most of information. It needs to innovate innovation quickly in own aspect like management, technology, operation, procedure, etc. This also is very useful. This also is the subject on innovation management is very useful for all participants come from different countries. We can learn and gain very valuable knowledge from leading library specialists. We can also learn from each other and share experience with each other. I would like to thank to workshop organizer, sincere thanks to Thammasat University Library for providing me the opportunity to attend this workshop. I hope and strongly believe that all precious knowledge and experience I have from this workshop can help me a lot for orientation, innovating, and improving Library and Information Center in Vietnam National University in the near future. Thank you.